In a world filled with geopolitical tension and constant uncertainty, hearing Iran's Supreme Leader declare, "Israel won't last long," is alarming to say the least. As threats like these echo across the global stage, they don't just reflect political rhetoric. They stir deep fears about the fragility of peace in the Middle East and the world at large. But what does this mean for Israel's future? And how should we interpret Khamenei's bold statement? Drawing on years of following Middle Eastern politics and analyzing international relations, I'll break down what this defiant message signals for the region and explore the wider implications for global stability. In a rare and highly anticipated Friday sermon, Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei delivered a forceful message of defiance against Israel, declaring that the nation won't last long. It was his first public sermon in 5 years, and the timing, just days after Iran's missile strikes on Israel, couldn't be more crucial for the Middle East. Addressing tens of thousands of supporters in a mosque in Tehran, Khamenei justified the missile strikes as a public service, setting the tone for what seems to be an escalating regional confrontation. As the leader of one of the most influential countries in the Middle East, Khamenei's words reverberate far beyond Iran's borders. The sermon follows Iran's missile attacks on key infrastructure in Israel, a direct response to Israel's recent strikes against Hezbollah and Hamas. These groups, heavily supported by Iran, form the front line of the region's resistance against Israel. With chants of "We are with you" echoing through the mosque, Khamenei framed the attacks as a justifiable defense against the occupation of Palestinian territories. He positioned Iran not just as a supporter, but as a protector of Palestinian and Lebanese forces, underlining the moral and religious obligation to stand with the oppressed. Khamenei also took the opportunity to honor Syed Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, who was killed in an Israeli airstrike in Beirut. He called Nasrallah a high-standing flag against the Zionist enemy, a symbol of resistance whose influence would only grow stronger in death. The loss, Khamenei said, was not in vain, but would fuel the continued fight against Israel, deepening Hezbollah's role in the region's dynamics. He praised Hezbollah as a blessed tree, growing steadily under Nasrallah's leadership. The group has long been a thorn in Israel's side, capable of launching significant strikes from Lebanon, supported by Iranian funding and weaponry. A unified call for resistance. In his speech, Khamenei reaffirmed Iran's commitment to supporting not only Hezbollah but also Hamas, particularly after their October 7th attacks on Israel. These groups, seen as Iran's proxies in the ongoing struggle, are key players in what Khamenei described as a legitimate jihad. His rhetoric was clear. Israel is not a sovereign state but a tool of American imperialism. Khamenei warned that the United States and Israel would fail in their efforts to control the region, claiming that Israel's very existence is precarious, held up only by US support. The Supreme Leader's message was straightforward. As long as Israel occupies Palestinian lands, Iran and its allies will resist. The broader implications of Khamenei's message. For those watching from the outside, Khamenei's sermon is a chilling reminder of the deep-seated hostilities that define the region. His call for the destruction of Israel is not new, but the context surrounding this speech, recent missile strikes, escalating tensions, and public support, brings an urgency that suggests the conflict may be entering a new phase. Israel, for its part, has vowed retaliation. Military strikes on Iranian-backed Hezbollah positions in Lebanon have already intensified, and further escalation seems likely. Khamenei's sermon is not just a public address, it's a rallying cry for continued aggression against Israel and a reminder that Iran sees itself as central to the resistance. Looking ahead, the future of Israel and Iran. With tensions already at a boiling point, what happens next is anyone's guess. Khamenei's confident assertion that Israel won't last long is not mere rhetoric, it's a declaration that Iran, along with its allies, is prepared to continue its fight for as long as it takes. As the region braces for further conflict, the stakes are high, not just for Israel and Iran, but for the entire Middle East. In a time of heightened global interest in the Iran-Israel conflict, Khamenei's sermon is a stark reminder that peace remains elusive, and the future of the region is as uncertain as ever. My Christian brothers and sisters, we know this has been a long-standing conflict. Let us keep praying for the peace of Israel and peace in the region. Please leave a comment and like, share, and subscribe to our channel.